Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we're understanding how to create an order and simultaneously execute a manufacturing request. So what we have done here is we have created a manufactured product and a list of raw materials. So we have created a category CPU where we have created an assembled CPU and a list of bill of materials, which are a graphic card, Intel Core processor, motherboard, and SSD. So if we navigate into the context menu of the assembled CPU and towards the bill of materials, set BOM, we will see that these are the list of bill of materials set. So all of these four have been added in 1 quantities each. So now we will firstly quickly head over to the receive stock section to quickly add the stock of these raw materials. So we can head over to the receive stock and we'll click the new button to now start adding. So we have graphic card, let's say 50 quantities. Motherboard, again 50 quantities. And then we have the fourth product. SSD, again 50 quantities. So all of these products can either be scanned or searched by the item name like we're doing. And then you can click on the create button to receive these quantities. So now these have been successfully received in the California warehouse. I'll be able to verify that information when I head over to the stock module under inventory. Now I'll quickly navigate to the CPU category. Yeah, so I can see that these quantities have been added into my warehouse. Since there was initially 50 stock already added for all of these products, so we see 50 already added, and so it has added up to 100. Now we can quickly get back to the order module to start creating a new order. So we head over to orders and we'll click on new order. Now we can go ahead and mention the shipping method, the invoice number, due date, etc. You could also specify what status does this initially have to be assigned to. You could have created custom statuses and set these based on your requirement. Now I can select a customer to whom it has to be or invoiced to. So I've selected my customer. I can also choose what shipping address and billing addresses it goes out to. Simultaneously, I am also able to create a new customer by clicking on the three-dotted icon, which opens up my customer manager. So once I'm now scanning the product, either to add it in the grid, or I can search by the item name. So the product which I had just created was an assembled CPU. So I'll select that. And let's assume that there are 3 quantities of these required to be ordered for this particular customer. So I have done that, and now after adding the quantities, I am able to look at the stock availability using this button. So it'll ask me to verify if you want to create the orders. I'll say yes. So now it'll give you a breakdown of all the list of raw materials or the components that you've just added in the bill of materials. So we see all of those four here, and we also see the parent item, the finished product. So we can essentially use this screen to quickly do a purchase, either do a purchase order, create a stock transfer, a purchase, a receive stock, or a stock request from another warehouse. So now, since we are understanding that the quantities which have been ordered are 3, which we just created for the CPU, we will effectively be also see the needed quantities which are essentially required to manufacture the assembled CPU. Since we had added 1 quantity each for all of the raw materials, so we only see 3 quantities each as the needed quantity for manufacturing 3 quantities of the particular assembled product. So I would now be able to see the available quantity, which shows me 100 each, since we saw that the available stock of the raw materials is 100. And then we also see the short quantity. So this is the quantity which is actually has to be ordered. So if in case you have to go ahead, so if in case, for example, the available quantity was not sufficient, if the needed quantity was more than the available quantity, you would see the remaining quantities come in the short quantity, and you could have actually gone ahead and ordered these quantities by creating a purchase order, a stock request, or a receive stock. So in my case, I see that the quantities are sufficiently available, so I can go ahead and now click on the manufacture product. So once I see that the quantity are required, which are 3, so I will now be able to generate a manufacturing request by clicking on the context menu and click on add make request. So once I do that, I'll be asked to verify the warehouse. So I can select the warehouse where the manufacturing request has to go to, and also I can verify the quantities again which have to be manufactured. So I'll just click on the create button, and it has sent the manufacturing request to my respective warehouse. I can natively choose to change my warehouse also from here. If I'm viewing this data for some other warehouse, I can do that. So I'll click on close for now, and I'll click on create again to save the changes. So I will see the particular order as created. Now I can head back to my inventory module and my make module. Since we have just generated a manufacturing request, all of those manufacturing requests would be able to see here in the make module. So in the make module, I just see that the request is pending for this respective document number which just came in, and it's again routed for California warehouse by Steve. So this is the Steve's email address, and I also see the respective order number and order date associated. So since we see that this is the order which is request pending, so I can quickly, to execute this request, I'll have to again click on the context menu and hit the execute button. So since this is a BOM product, it will ask me to verify the quantities that have to be manufactured again, and will tell me again the required quantities and the available quantities in my warehouse. So I can quickly click on execute button to now execute and complete the manufacturing process. So the manufacturing process has been completed. If I head back to my stock module again, let's see what happened to our warehouse stock for the respective raw materials and the manufactured product. So if we navigate to our product category, we will see that 3 quantities of assembled CPU have been manufactured, and 3 quantities each have been reduced from all of our raw materials or components. So essentially, this is what happens when we execute a manufacturing request. Automatically, the manufactured products quantity go up, and the raw material quantities are reduced respectively based on the quantities allocated in the bill of materials. Thank you for your patience.